Thousands of college students are cracking the books open again tonight for the first time in weeks. Today was their first day back in class after a 5-week strike by faculty. Magda Grabasalassi is live at the Humber College Lakeshore campus for us tonight. For some students, the relief at being back in class is now being replaced, Magda, by worry over their midterms.
And you can understand why, because for a lot of them, that is right around the corner. I actually spoke to one of the instructors at Centennial College this morning, and she said she's planning her midterms for next week. And a student here at Humber College was telling us earlier today that she has 5 midterms to study for, all happening next week. Now, students, just to remind you, they're being tested mostly on things that they were taught before the strike began, but now they're facing this condensed academic schedule. So they have all this work to do, but in a shorter period of time. For example, at Georgetown College, initially the fall semester was supposed to be 14 weeks, the same for the winter semester. Now those semesters will be 12 weeks each. Also shorter terms here at Humber College by 1 or 2 weeks, depending on whether it's a diploma program or a degree program. So what does this mean for the students? Well, here's what they had to say.
Our prof in our class just told us that he is taking out some of the stuff that we were supposed to learn, whereas this class is like a prereq for next semester's class. So if we're not learning everything that we're supposed to be learning, how does that affect my quality of my overall education?
We're worried about our grades, we're worried about our tuition. Both of us are up for scholarships, but that's due to marks. So if the marks go down, that's our scholarship.
I'm not happy, like, personally, because we pay the fees, right? Like, as an international student, it's a big tuition fees we're paying, and yeah, it impacts our studies.
It kind of sucks that we're going to have a condensed semester, but you know, I think we could make it through it. It's better than not having school at all, so I'm prepared, I'm ready.
Now, for those who don't feel prepared, they're being urged to connect with counseling services and support programs, something that was very visible today at George Brown College. And here at Humber, students, returning for the first time today were welcomed back with a breakfast spread. All this is an effort to kind of ease anxiety that the students are feeling right now. Officials here say that, once students are in the programs for a little bit of time and see how things will break down, that they'll feel better about the situation.
The anxiety, I know, comes from feeling like we're going to have 5 weeks gone out of one semester, but we've been able to spread that impact out over the entire academic year, which again, we really think will help students be the most successful.
We are very confident that the curriculum that we've got in place, the plans that we have made, will ensure that the students are going to graduate not only in a timely manner, but they're going to receive that full educational experience they signed up for.
Well, Magda, it is clear that some students are worried that they may not be getting the full educational experience now.
That's true, and for those students, they do have the option of pulling out of their program and getting a full refund. But Dwight, there are some things that they may want to consider before doing that, and I'll have more on that when I come back at 6:30.
Thank you, Magda. It's the first day back in class for hundreds of thousands of college students, and some are already thinking about withdrawing. Facing a condensed school year, students now have an option to withdraw from their programs and get a full refund. But how exactly will that all play out? Magda Grabasalassi joins us live again from Humber College Lakeshore campus. And Magda, this option is for students who feel there is no other option, I guess.
It's for full-time and part-time students who feel that way. Now, if they do want to withdraw from their program and get that refund, they will have to let their college know in writing, and they have to give the reasons why and how it relates to the strike. Now, there are some questions tonight about whether there'll be any consequences for doing that. For some students who are wishing to pull out of their program and then just come back next term, there's things that they may want to consider. I was speaking to a spokesperson at George Brown College, and she said it's not automatic, that the situations will be based on a case-by-case situation, and what they're telling students is to talk to their academic advisors before pulling out of their programs. But some students are seriously considering doing this.
if I do end up dropping out, the only way I'm going to do it and come back here is to say to them, if I don't get direct entry, I'm not coming back. I got accepted to 3 other culinary schools around the world. I have other options.
Being faced with the decision of either dropping out of school and restarting next year or continuing is really weighing heavily on my mind. Thankfully, because of the new legislation and us given the 2 weeks to decide and getting our money back, it makes the decision a lot easier. But in general, walking away from something I care about so much is very hard, and these 5 weeks have changed a lot drastically in my program. So it's definitely an option.
I've definitely looked into the reimbursement. About dropping the year, I've thought about it, but I'm not too sure, just because I feel like if I do restart, it wouldn't really make that much sense.
You heard her mention the $500 reimbursement. So it's actually up to the colleges to inform students how they go about applying for that money. I spoke to a ministry spokesperson who said in most cases, students should expect to show documentation of the additional costs they have incurred. Colleges will have a dispute resolution mechanism in place to ensure adequate review of the decisions. I know that George Brown is still working on getting an email out to the students to inform them of how exactly they go about applying for this to White, and I'm sure the case it's also the case for many of the colleges.
Yeah, some difficult decisions for these students. Thank you, Magda.